trade. The latest estimate for yields in the U.S. was 52.2 bushels an acre. Weakness in palm oil was also pressuring the market. Corn was 1 cent higher, with the December contract sitting at $3.66 a bushel. Traders were sitting mostly on the sidelines this morning, waiting for the export sales numbers to come out. Dry conditions are expected in the U.S. plains next week, and that should help get combines back on the field. The latest yield estimate for the U.S. corn crop is 177.8 bushels an acre. Chicago wheat was down 3 cents, with the December contract sitting at $5.10 a bushel. Funds were liquidating contracts this morning. Demand for U.S. wheat has been light, as many countries are lining up for cheaper Russian wheat. Already, Russian wheat exports for the first 7 months have reached 23 million tons, and that's nearly double the amount shipped last year at the same time. So that's a look at the ICE Futures Canada and Chicago markets for Friday morning, September 7th. In Winnipeg, for Markets Farm, I'm Dave Sim.
Butler Farm Equipment in Fort St. John has a new 5-foot by 6-foot round baler that delivers higher capacity and higher density. The New Holland Roll Belt 560. This restyled round baler is built New Holland smart, with better windrow feeding and new pickup and belt choices. The result is a 20% increase in pickup capacity, belt strength, belt drive force, and overall baling capacity compared to previous models. Start getting more out of every hay season with a Roll Belt 560 round baler. See Butler Farm Equipment in Fort St. John today.
The opinions expressed during this show do not represent those of this station. If you've missed any of this show, you can follow the podcast at energeticcity.ca. Now, an in-depth look at the news and information shaping our community. This is Trev Talks with your host, Trevor Boland.
Good morning. Welcome back to Trev Talks on this gorgeous Friday as we're hunkering down for what looks to be a lot of rain and then some snow the following week. We are joined this morning by Becky Grimsrud, right? Did I say that right? Grimsrud. And Becky is here to fill us in on the first annual, or what will be the first annual, Burger King Zombie Run for Your Life Marathon. I don't know if I got that right.
It's not really a marathon, but
not
a
really
5K.
5K is a marathon. 1K is a marathon. I'm only running if typically something bigger than me is chasing me. So Becky, you were with Kin Club of Fort St. John.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about this event that's coming up. It's on September 15th at 11 o'clock in Kin Park.
So basically, we've got the zombie run happening next Saturday. That's Saturday, September 15th. So we've just got just over a week to go before the event kicks off, which we're really excited about because it's going to be, like you said, the first annual. We've done the zombie walk in the past.
And that's been, you've done it for a few years.
Yeah, that's been going for quite, I think, about 7-8 years, something like that. Quite a while. Kin Club of Fort St. John wasn't doing it the whole time. It was actually some people from the roller derby group in town that started it up, just brought it from Medicine Hat kind of thing traditionally. Kin Club took it over. We've done it for the last few years, and this year we just decided to do something completely different, throw a bit of a wrench in the works, get people running, some zombies chasing them. It's going to be a really good time. That's
going to be cool. So yeah, because I can remember when you guys did the previous events, or even when the other group did the previous events, it was more of a walk downtown. Mm-hmm. It was more of a fun for kids, fun for families type of idea. But this is shaping up to be kind of an all-user, all-level event. You've got some different categories, whether you are a zombie, whether you're a survivor. Mm-hmm. There's some. I've seen some medals. So I mean, it is a fun event, but it is also still, like we said, a 5K marathon.
Yeah.
How do people sign up for this? Like, what kind of rollout have you guys been doing as far as registrations, etc.? So
we've got tickets on energetictickets.ca. We also are going to have some live registrations tomorrow, cash only, at One Stop Registration. We've got a booth together with Whiskey Jack Nordic Ski Club. Yeah. So we're going to be selling some tickets there. It'll be cash only. You can skip kind of the online fees and that kind of thing and just get your $35 ticket for the 5K run. You get a nice swag bag with that and a medal at the end. if you happen to survive and not be infected by the zombies, then you'll get one of the very desirable survivor medals.
I've seen the
Otherwise,
medals. The medals
we
are
will
cool.
see you as infected.
The medals are very, very cool. So where is One Stop? Where can they find you at? Where does this happen tomorrow?
That's at the Totem Mall from 10 to 2.
10 to 2 tomorrow. Okay, so lots of events happening tomorrow because the block party's tomorrow at the kids are at the rec center, at the Northeast rec center, so they could easily do the One Stop and then head over to the block party and ensure that they get their tickets for the event. What kind of sales are? I mean, Fort St. John's a last minute town, so there's a lot of people that literally will probably get their tickets tomorrow or get them further on into the week up until Friday. What kind of registration? Like, are you about 50% sold out right now?
We're not getting too close to selling out, so we do have some last minute registrations available. Like I said, we've got the One Stop registration tomorrow. Head over to the block party, do your thing there, go to One Stop. You can register for different sports and activities for the kids, that kind of thing. Get your zombie run tickets.
Nice.
We're also going to be doing some last minute registrations at package pickup, which is at Supplement King from 4 to 8 next Friday night.
The night before the
night
event.
before the event, the 14th,
Yeah.
as well as if people are super last minute, we may have some available as well the morning of the event, but you're going to have to be there nice and early to get those. So 11 o'clock at the event, we're going to have late package pickup, some last minute registrations. That's when we're going to do the walk. We're still going to let the zombies do a little walk through the park, that kind of thing. As per tradition, at noon, the run will start right exactly at noon. And 1 o'clock is when the Kids Dash starts, which is also going to be super fun.
So that's going to be awesome. So, for those people that don't know, and maybe they've seen the walk or they've seen some of the information online about this new, Run for Your Life sort of an idea. What do these funds raised for do? Like, the tickets aren't a lot of money. When you compare it to other events that happen in Fort St. John, and considering the whole family can get involved in this, or just the kids, or just mom and dad, or no matter what. I mean, like we said, it suits everybody. The funds that are raised go towards what? Now, I'm assuming that it is towards the Kins Club of Fort St. John. But what is that? Tell us what that is.
So Kin Club of Fort St. John, we've traditionally done a lot of different things, such as senior supper, the Easter egg hunt at Kin Park, as well as things like Rocking the Peace, a lot of different events, Breakfast with Santa, things that some of these events have been going on like 14 years, something like that, and just real part of our community. The seniors every year love our senior supper.
Your guys'
like
senior
that.
supper's impressive.
It's pretty
Very
awesome.
impressive.
So things like that have just been a part of our community for that long, and people look forward to every year. So we consider a lot of those to be service projects where we're just giving back to the community. The KIN mandate is for serving the community's greatest needs, so we try to keep in line with that.
Yeah, and the KIN Club, we don't know the exact opening or the exact existence of it, but it has been around for a long time. Lots of community events. How would somebody get involved in the KIN Club? Like, I can imagine that, like Rotaries and like other events and other groups, you guys need assistance, you need help, and some of the events that you do, I've seen in the past, trying to get help for some of the seniors dinners that you guys do. And for people that don't know what that is it's typically about 2.5 weeks before Christmas. You guys have a very large dinner that is served by the KIN Club and by volunteers to the seniors in Fort St. John, Dawson, or Fort St. John, Taylor, and I'm guessing the surrounding areas, Charlie Lake, Beldonald, stuff like that. So kind of the whole Peace River North. And I mean, you feed upwards. I mean, there's a few hundred people that are at this.
We pack the Taylor Hall every year. It's just completely packed. And
That's
we
phenomenal.
haven't found anywhere else that can seat that number of people where we can actually provide our own food. So it's quite impressive how many.
Because I can remember years and years ago, it was at the Mackenzie Inn, which is now the Stonebridge. But yeah, so you outgrew that space, and now you're looking at you've been doing it in Taylor the last few years.
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been well received there as well, and the city's been nice enough to give us some buses and that kind of thing to be able to make sure that everyone can get there and get home. So that's been great.
That's good. That's huge. Yeah, I love that event. That's great. So the funds that are raised from the ticket sales of the zombie run go towards that dinner. Go towards the expenses that it takes to cook Christmas dinner for 250 or 300 people or whatever your final numbers are.
Many different events throughout the year, as well as we're trying to raise a bit of money for the Women's Resource Society, depending on our ticket sales and if we can do that. Also, I would like to mention that if people could please bring a non-perishable food item to the zombie walk. That's always traditionally been that we're getting food donations for the Women's Resource Center, just for their drop-in program, that kind of thing.
Good.
Try to stock up those shelves for them a bit while we're there.
So everybody can bring, they can bring a non-perishable item. How much is the actual event? How much are the tickets for adults or versus kids?
So for the Kids Dash, it's free, completely free. If you want to just come out, dress up as a zombie and chase some runners around, that is completely free too. The only thing that costs money is the registration for the run itself, for the 5K run. That is $35, and you get a nice bag of goodies, as well as like Ernie's has thrown in some certificates. We've got some stuff from Supplement King, some different things in that bag, as well as you get your medal and a nice bib for
So honestly, between the medals, between the swag bags, between the giveaways, they probably far exceed the actual ticket cost of this event for the runners.
I would say you get your money's worth for sure. Like for your $35, you're getting a pretty good bag of goodies. That's
awesome.
For sure. Yeah.
Where's the 5K run at? Like, I know the event's in Kin Park. Does the run start at Kin, and where does it go from there?
So basically, we're going to start at Kin Park, just near the parking lot there. They're going to run through Kin Park to the far side of the ball diamonds. We're going to have a small area that is kind of your infection zone, that is where the zombies can try to infect the runners, so that we're not chasing them out in front of traffic or anything like that. And a smaller area within that zone that is kind of the safe zone, so that runners have a little bit of breathing room at the start and finish line.
When you need to take a bit of a break.
So they just got to be aware once they cross through that safe zone into the infection zone, that's where they got to watch out for the zombies. And we'll try to give them some tips and tricks in terms of how best to try and avoid the horde. But then they're going to cross at the crosswalk towards the bypass road there, and just follow the bypass road down and back for the 5K.
So that's right at 86th Street, and then
they won't be crossing at 86th Street, just by Kin Park there, which is
right
across
one
from
block.
the college. So they'll be crossing
perfect.
at the crosswalk there, going up towards just past 86th Street actually, back to the crosswalk, and then the zombies will have another chance at them as they try to get back to the finish line.
That's awesome. That's a lot of fun. You know what I think? There's you see a lot of marathons or half marathons, and a lot of different groups that do these sort of events. I like the flair you've put on them. I like the fact that the kids can get involved, right? I mean, typically, you're sitting at home and it's a Saturday or it's a Sunday, and you're going to run a marathon. The kids aren't really typically involved in that, right? I mean, no kids want to go, hey, I want to, maybe some do. Mine don't. Mine aren't going to run 5K. I'm not going to run 5K. But this gives a chance for families to be involved. So I absolutely love that from what the Kin Club has done. I think it's going to be a success this year. I think as the first annual, of course, it's always harder to get people involved, right? But the tickets are cheap. The event's going to be fantastic. I think the weather's even looking pretty decent for that day. I mean, it's not this weekend, so thankfully it's not this weekend, and it's not through the midweek where there's going to be some snow. But towards next weekend, actually looks pretty decent.
We'll see what happens. It's a little hard to tell from the long range, but fingers crossed. So far, so good.
Changes daily. That's one thing you never know. You don't like the weather, just wait 2 minutes. It's going to change. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we will be back and talk a little bit more about the Kin Club, their history in Fort St. John, their future in Fort St. John, and how you can more get involved. We'll talk to you soon.
When it comes Enjoy 2-for-1 savings this week at Merwin Optical's Block Party Sale. Till Saturday, buy any frames and lenses and get a second set free. Specialty lenses have additional charges, and ready-to-wear sunglasses are 20% off. It's a perfect time to get prescription sunglasses, computer glasses, or just a spare for yourself or a friend. Merwin staff will help you choose frames and lenses to help you look your best and see your best. Site testing for adults only 19 to 64. Direct billing to most insurance plans. Check out 2-for-1 savings at Merwin Optical's Block Party Sale. Sale ends Saturday, September 8th. Special hours this Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Smarty Pants is under new ownership. Me. Well, not me, but my family. My parents are the new owners, and we invite you to come see our newly renovated store, which is now reopened. For the rest of this month, we are having a back-to-school sale with 25% off all backpacks and fall fashions, plus many other in-store sales. We have lots of cool clothes for boys and girls from Billabong, Fox, Quicksilver, Roxy, and more. Have your family to do some back-to-school shopping with our family at Smarty Pants, 103rd Ave, and be sure to check us out on Facebook.
Watch this show live on Facebook or download the podcast at energeticcity.ca. This is Trev Talks with Trevor Bolin.
We are back. We're joined by Becky. If you missed the first part of the show, we're talking about the first annual Burger King Zombie Run. I say marathon because it's 5 kilometers, but it could be either or. You were mentioning that there is a little bit of a significant difference, I guess, if you will, for this event, and that's the fact that the kids get to dress up. So the kids can dress up as zombies. The runners are survivors, or adults can be the zombies as well, depending if you want to be running or chasing. I think I'd rather be chasing. But there is a special guest. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about what you've got planned for the kids at the event for next Saturday?
So the Kids Dash is going to be a lot of fun. We've got some candy bags from Stickies that they're going to get, that kind of thing. We've also got a very special guest, which I believe you know a bit about, that is going to be chased by all the kids. The kids are welcome to dress up as zombies. If they don't want to, that's completely fine. If anyone wants to or doesn't want to dress up as a zombie, it's completely up to you, runners or otherwise. So the kids event, they get to chase their own special guest and try to get the flags, as per sort of flag football type belts, off the special guest and try to infect the special guest. So it's kind of a way to, the kids are going to see all the adult zombies chasing after the runners, being able to grab their belts, and of course they're going to kind of be left in the dust if all the adults are getting all the, infecting all the runners. So this is their opportunity, without the adults fighting them, for the opportunity to infect some runners.
That's awesome. Yeah. So the kids are going to certainly have a good time. I mean, this part of the event is coordinated just for the kids, so they can chase a special guest, try to infect him. They're going to win free gift bags, you said, from Sticky's Candy here in Fort St. John. I mean, what kid doesn't love that, right? Yeah. You get to run, you're outdoors, you're in the park, and then you get candy afterwards. So. Yeah. You're gonna hype them up and then send them home, which is absolutely beautiful, right? So mom and dad might be a little bit tired from their 5K run, but the kids will certainly be doing whatever chores you need from the amount of sugar that they're on. So that's that's phenomenal. I love this event. What kind of participation did you have in the past? Like, are you did you have 100 kids and 100 adults, or for the walks? I've seen lots of pictures, lots of great pictures, and I've never been to the event, but I know a lot of people who have, and they've raved about this event for years. What kind of numbers did you have last year, for an example, just for the walk portion of it? Do you remember?
I can't recall exact numbers, but usually we're around the 100-person sort of turnout.
Yeah, so about 100 people.
Depending on the year, depending on the weather.
But most of them last year, or all of them last year, were all dressed up, or they were all zombified, right?
There are people that look forward to this event all year, and they're already planning their costumes, and it is impressive to see some of the makeup skills in town with zombie makeup, that kind of thing, costumes. I'm blown away by some of the costumes every year.
I've seen the pictures. I've seen the pictures, and you swear to God you're watching The Walking Dead, right? Like it's that real, but it's not scary, which I think is could be sometimes the concern people have. Is this going to scare my kids? And I think maybe the difference you've done is this year takes that scary component out. You know what I mean? Where it's not a walk, it's a family event. It's a local event. The money that's raised goes towards good causes, and it's $35. For $35 for 2-3 hours worth of fun, the candy, the gift bags, like we said, you really can't go wrong. I'm excited. I will be there. I'm sure there will be other special guests there that are going to help to pull off the kids event. So we talked a little bit about the Kin Club, not a lot. Now they were previously the Kinsmen,
yes,
right? Kinsmen of Fort St. John, and I mean, it's as long as I can remember. I mean, it's got to be decades upon decades upon decades that the group has been here. How many members do you guys have in your group right now?
Currently, we've got 11 active members. We tend to keep our roster quite up to date just with national dues and that kind of thing to make sure. If people are interested in joining the Kin Club, we do a lot of really interesting, fun events throughout the year. You can get a hold of us on our Facebook page, Kin Club FSJ, or I'm actually the membership director as well, so you can email membership@kinclubfsj.com or becky@kinclubfsj.com for more information on membership, or just message the page. As well, we tend to have evening meetings just for the people that are working during the day, that kind of thing, to make sure they're able to make it to the meetings and do fundraising to try and, we do things like designated driving, and we were out at the racetracks this summer quite a bit, just fundraising to kind of pay our own dues so that people aren't out of pocket for joining a volunteer club.
Well, I honestly don't think a lot of people know about the Kin Club. Mm-hmm. I think it's the kind of group that I don't think you guys get the recognition that you should, which is why we have you here today, so people can recognize the great events that you do in the community. And I think there's a lot of people that probably would get involved if they had more information. Your guys' Facebook page, phenomenal. It's up to date. It's got all the information about the event. I literally had somebody stop me on the street last week, which is why I knew we had to get you on the show today, asking me about the event, asking me about the zombie run. So, you know, it's the type of thing that, you know, you're going to want to get involved in. Rain, shine, whatever. Don't worry about it. It's $35. The kids are going to have a blast, and I think people need to start kind of watching what you guys are doing in the community. I think groups like yours are integral for Fort St. John, and they're integral for families and for events. And I mean, I've known of a few of your events just because I've attended them, but I really am starting to watch, and I think other people should do the same, is watch and get involved in your guys' event. We're gonna get to a point in time if people don't get involved, groups are going to have a hard time doing things. And you know what, for as easy as it is to spend a couple hours, it's easy to get your tickets. It's easy to come down. Even if you don't want to partake in it, you know, as an adult or as mom and dad or grandpa and grandma or whoever, let the kids do it. Let the kids have fun. They're our next generation. They're the ones that are going to be, you know, replacing us in our professional lives and in our political lives, and they need to understand how important that community involvement is. What do you guys have? So what do you have coming up after the zombie run? Do you go right into your prep for the seniors dinner? Is that kind of the next?
We're already starting preparations for senior supper, so it's coming up.
The snow for you next week is
beginning of December, so we're already in the planning stages for that, as well as breakfast with Santa. Those are kind of our end of the year ones, and then we'll get into the spring stuff after that.
Breakfast for Santa. So that is a kids' breakfast, or again, that's a family breakfast.
Yeah, traditionally we do 2 days of that, depending on the chair and co-chair and what they decide. We give a lot of liberties with our chair and co-chair in terms of how exactly they want to organize events. But basically, traditionally, it's been a 2-day event where the first day is you've got your kids that pay, you know, their $10 or whatever it is for their ticket to have breakfast with Santa, get a gift, have, you know, it's a service event. It's not really much of a fundraiser, but basically those ticket prices pay for the next day, which is for the less fortunate kids in town that are able to come and have the free breakfast with Santa and that kind of thing.
That is beautiful. Yeah. So day one is everybody's invited. Pay the $10 or whatever you said the charges, which is absolutely nothing for the cost of what a breakfast is, let alone Santa's there. And then the next day is free for underprivileged kids, you know, along those lines.
So it's really up to, like I said, the chair and co-chair exactly how they want to organize it, but that's traditionally what we have done.
I love that. Didn't even know that occurred. I absolutely love that. That's a huge win for Fort St. John. How long has that been going on for?
Oh, a lot of years.
Not
sure exactly.
So quite a few years. Where is it held at? Or where was it held at last year?
You know what? I can't even remember off the top of my head, but
just one of the local.
It sort of changes around according to availability and space and cost and different things. So.
Okay. And that's just before Christmas as well, a couple weeks before Christmas
that
as well.
I believe is the first weekend in December,
Nice.
Traditionally, and usually the senior supper is the first Friday in December.
First Friday in December. Yeah. So two really big events to look out for. Well, three really, because you've got the zombie run that's coming up next Saturday. So get online, get your tickets, or get down to the One Stop this weekend at the Totem Mall. Check a little bit of time just to grab those tickets for you and the kids. The kids are free, so it's mom and dad for the tickets. Or if you're just wanting to run or just wanting to be infected, the medals, the swag bags, all that stuff, you easily get your $35 back. Plus, you're going to have hours of entertainment and hours of fun, so do that. And then, like you said, the seniors dinner, which I think is fantastic. Love that you guys do that. I love how involved you are in that. And then the kids, so we kind of cover off all categories, all age groups. I like the next day event. I'm gonna watch that a little bit closer this year. I love that. I love that next day event where the kids can come for free. So, Becky, I really honored to have you on the show. Really looking forward to this event. Looking forward to the special guest. The kids' face when that goes down. We'll see how that is. See how fast that special guest is. And I look forward to hearing more from you and the Kin Club and all the great things that you're doing in Fort St. John.
Thanks so much for having me.
Have a great weekend. That wraps up another week of Trev Talks. We will catch you next week. Stay safe, stay dry, and stay warm with the snow that's in the forecast for next week.
Everyone struggles with computers. New shortcuts, plug-and-play devices that don't play when you plug them, and more. Sit back and learn some stupid computer tricks with Vern from Computer Emporium across from the Northern Grand Hotel on 100th Avenue in Fort St. John.
So you have a computer you use every day, maybe a laptop that does all of your computing needs, and you have a cell phone that has internet and email. Why would you also want a tablet? Well, I was the guy that said those same words. A few years ago, though, I broke down and bought my first tablet.